Okay, so I'm gonna do, are we
Now I can't
streaming?
watch the stream.
Are we actually
Right.
streaming?
It was, yeah. But
As far as I know.
I can't check it now.
But we're recording also, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, okay, so,
Your screensaver turned off.
and we've got audio. So one of the, well, okay, so
Well,
this is
as far as I
plug,
know, we have
everybody's been a plug before, right? I recognize. You've never been to,
No.
what's your name?
Al.
Okay, so, welcome.
Thank you.
We're having a talk on that stuff right there. So here we go, plug. Speakers, we have a speaker. We have another speaker on standby, potentially. And there I got a couple other people kind of, I'm cultivating. I've expressed like, hey, would you want to talk? I got this thing, you could talk. And they say, yeah, maybe, but there's no commitment yet. So we're working on that. It's the entire job of this, what I'm doing now, is to find speakers. So if the speakers we find don't live up to your expectations, this is you should be alerting you to your personal responsibility for finding speakers. And the one thing you ask for any speaker is, are you jazzed about something? And no matter what, that jazzedness will come out and excite other people, I feel like. So it doesn't have to be strictly Linux or Unix. Nerdy things certainly qualify. So like, for example, somebody I haven't actually asked yet, but there's a group in town called PDX Privacy. I think they could talk about their organization. They'd probably be happy to talk about their organization. And so anyway, that's the kind of people I think about and various people that I encounter. So if you have any ideas for things you're working on that you're excited about sharing, let me know. You can get me on the mailing list or talk to me or whatever. The other thing is we have a clinic on the third Sunday of the month. It's at the Gene Vollum, whatever the hell, I don't know what they call that. It's what used to be the EcoTrust building. It's still called the EcoTrust building, but the EcoTrust isn't actually present in the building anymore. They moved to a new building, well, not a new building, another building over on the east side. So, but Willamette University moved into what had been their old space. They've got classrooms there, and Willamette University has very graciously and generously offered their space for us to use for the clinic. So we've been doing that since like April or May or maybe even March. I'm not sure. Sometime in the spring, yes.
Can you explain the awesomeness of the clinic?
So
and what goes on there?
Historically, the clinic was people with some kind of Linux problem would come in, and those problems would be married with problem solver people, and those problems would then be worked through, and in theory you would walk out with your problem solved. Sometimes you just got slightly new problems. But the goal was to help people with their Linux machines. So it could be anything, somebody's, file system's messed up and they need somebody to help them sort it out, or they just want to install Linux, or they want to update Linux, or stuff like that. And we've had excellent helper turnout. We had like 8 people just sitting there waiting, drumming their fingers, waiting for somebody to walk in. Not that many people walked in. In fact, I can't think of a single person who walked in. But everybody, there were still people who had little issues, and it was a place to share the little issues. And
Open WRT installed.
we did,
yeah.
And
I had a Chromebook converted.
Galen was working on some how to scrape temperature data out of somewhere, because he's got I don't know if Galen's watching at home, but he's been obsessing over sizing for an HVAC thing for where he lives, and instead of just talking to the guys who allegedly know, and asking them how big it ought to be, and just installing that
What's
thing.
the fun in that?
Yeah, what is the fun in that, indeed? So, so anyway, he was looking for old data that we could look at essentially hourly temperature data for Portland. I will point out, however, the hourly data for the airport is not super representative of the temperatures in Portland. It's actually, on hot days, it gets like 5 degrees hotter at the airport than it does in my neighborhood anyway. And there's variation all over town because of things like tree canopy and extent of pavement and things like that, or elevation even. So anyway, that's the clinic. And if you have a problem or you enjoy helping people solve problems, then show up and hang out for a while. It's 1 to 4 o'clock, I think. No, sorry. I walked out at 4 a month and a half ago, and but then halfway home I realized, oh yeah, we were actually going till 5. But the other people there, you stayed. Did you stay actually all the way to 5? Sweet. I took down all the signs and everything. There's nobody coming. The building is unlocked, though. There were some concerns about that.
I walked right
Oh,
away.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, didn't have to call anybody.
Yeah, yeah. So if you just excessive detail, but there's another event that happens on the second floor, and they get the door unlocked, or they prop the door. And then after a few hours, they go, and the door closes, and it is latched. But I have signs with, just like we did outside, with a phone number that's actually my Google Voice number, and you're encouraged to text me, and then somebody will come let you in. So that's the clinic. Then after the meeting, we've been going to Patty's down on, what's the other one? There's another Irish place in town. I can't
Just
remember.
Kells?
Kells, yeah,
Probably a few
there's a few others. But we've been going to this Patty's place down on First and Yamhill, I think. So anybody's welcome to join us. We occasionally have a kid who's started showing up, and they're unfortunately 14, so they can't really come into the bar.
I'd call that lucky myself.
Yes. Yes. So those are the exciting pre-announcements, pre-talk announcements. Does anybody have any news they want to share? No. Okay. Well then, away we go.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Ed. I run a little blog, or actually, Ben there runs the website, actually, but I have a little blog, linuxgalaxy.org, where I just talk about stuff that I discover. I'm not a computer person by trade. I'm a chemist, but computers are a useful tool, and been using Linux for 30-odd years, and Slackware for most of that time. Have a little technical difficulty today to get rolling, but we'll see how things work. Hopefully this works out. So, and like all of you, we're all volunteers to help out the club. I now am the official videographer to stream this. So I do all the streaming. Fortunately, this is the kind of streaming I tend to prefer, but we take what we can get. So there's a couple, as you know, there's a bunch of different ways to stream. You can do it on your cell phone. Everybody does it. I'm a little late to the game because everybody's been doing this forever. They do it on their cell phone. You've got webcams, you've got camcorders, you've got action cams, and so forth. Not all can stream over live, and there's various different open source tools to help with that. One really easy way I found out if you have Mac OS Ventura or newer, and an iPhone 13 or newer, or iOS 16, they do all the heavy lifting for you. You just fire up OBS Studio, and poof, you can be online in seconds, as with an iPhone webcam. I actually did stream a couple of talks that way before I got the GoPro working. And that's what I'm going to talk about today, is how to get the GoPro connected, because GoPro does not provide any kind of apps. And we're not going to talk about Windows at all. So basically, we want to use Linux or some Unix-derived distro. Why not? So I'm looking around. Okay, I'm going to record, I'll record on my cell phone, and I say, well, what else do I have laying around the house that I have handy? Well, I've got, you know, like I got my laptop, but that's not very convenient. Webcam, I have a separate webcam which we could use, but they usually don't have good low light capability for a room. I do have a couple of old DV camcorders, mini DV discs. They're nice, but they're 720 by 480. And this laptop that I tried to use, which didn't want to work on the projector today, does have a mini FireWire port. Try finding one of those these days. That's tough. So I could technically stream on that, or of course, we're using right now. Unfortunately, we're using the Mac OS right now because I'm having some Wi-Fi problems with the Linux distribution. But basically, I do have 95% of Linux working on the Macbook Pro that I bought. $200. It's an i7 machine with a nice Iris Plus 650 GPU, and so I said, well, why not? Let's use that. That's what I got. Nice deal on OfferUp for $200. I do encourage people, if you're looking for inexpensive laptops, there's a bunch of machines because of planned obsolescence. At 2017, 2016 Mac Pro, they're perfectly fine. They're perfectly fast. They're pretty useful for many things. Or a late model Dell or Lenovo or other Windows laptop because they want to dump them out for Windows 11, which is, I think, just very dumb, stupid to just toss hardware out because, oh, we have to upgrade our operating system, so we need new hardware. That's just nonsense. So that's my opinion.
We'll take advantage of it.
But we'll take advantage of it. So I'm going to be picking up a lot more of these little gadgets for just next to nothing, because why not, right? But I have so we're going to talk about how, as you see right here, the GoPro Hero 13. Normally, I wouldn't have paid the $450 for this camera. It's an interesting action camera, but it's not as versatile as they pretend to brag about. It's nice for outdoors, for taking short clips at 4K, or it goes up to 5.3 at 120 frames per second. But I had a coupon. There was a sale at Best Buy, and I had a coupon from a promo at work that I won some sort of it was kind of like a little award for doing good work or whatever for my corporate overlord. So it cost me $150. I said, why not? It's another gadget to play with. So it's capable of Bluetooth, low energy, Wi-Fi connectivity, and USB. And I'll get that in a minute. But it does have some issues, like no Linux software to speak of. It does have a REST API for web access over USB and Wi-Fi. There's some limited apps they have. They want you to run it on your cell phone or some other portable device. They don't want to do anything else. And one of the things with GoPros that I should have looked into more is it tends to overheat. So right now, to actually stream a talk longer than, say, 50 minutes, I literally had to turn everything off. No image stabilization, no Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, and then it gets warm, but it actually could run for 2 hours without shutting down. So that does make it a very good camera. So I'll probably be upgrading to something a little better in the future. So, but it has a lot of interesting functionality. It's got it's got the various different arrays. I'm going to be going for, I don't know how to use Bluetooth, so and Wi-Fi it overheats, but USB works great. So assuming you get I had to go shopping around for the correct USB-C cable because not all USB-C is USB-C. So that was a bit adventurous to find a good cable that would actually handle the bandwidth. So then I discovered, they actually publish the web API, the RESTful API, on Open GoPro. Great Scott, as they say. So now I say, let's figure this out. Let's figure out how I can access it. And they also have tweaked beta firmware available on this other site, where you can actually update the firmware to give the camera more capabilities that doesn't have out of the box, like better low light processing and some other features. So, let's talk USB network device. So it hooks up, so some of you may already be familiar with this. I was not, I'm not a network guy, although I do pretend to be one when I'm on the phone support line for work. So it has a internal DHCP server. You plug it in, it gets a fixed IP address on the interface. But it's designed so that each GoPro has its own unique IP address based on the serial number. So that took a little while to figure out, but they hide that on their thing somewhere. And that's the address there would be like the 172 address would be ends at .51. That's important because for some reason, when you hook it up with Network Manager or any of the standard when Linux comes up or even the other any operating system, the interface address is .54. But the device you talk to is .51. You can ping .54, you can't ping .51. So that was a little confusing. But it's easy enough to get set up. It shows up as a second interface, and then you can talk to it. So then here's this little something here. So you just, like I say, you either the Slackware style with ifconfig, get it running, or through Network Manager, that works just as well to get it up and running. And those are the IP addresses, like I say, you can see there, it comes up as .54 instead of, then you just got to figure out which way to talk to it. So, what's the API look like? Here's some examples. So basically, it's just a RESTful web API, and you can script this. If you look at online, you'll see numerous examples of people setting up the GoPro as a webcam using Python. And every time they do that, they use this web API to turn on webcam mode, which I'm doing right now. And then they route that with FFmpeg with the Video for Linux loopback kernel module to create a virtual Video for Linux dev/video, and then it's then mimics a USB webcam.
By the way, is there any authentication or it's
No,
just?
no authentication.
So,
The only, if not on the USB side, there is some authentication if you're on the
Wi-Fi?
on the BLE, because in order to turn the this is why I didn't want to use Wi-Fi besides the overheating. To turn the Wi-Fi access, it has its own access point. So you connect it, but to connect to its access point with your cell phone, or to set it up to connect to your Wi-Fi router at home, you have to first ping it with the Bluetooth.
oh,
And that forms the authentication, and then you can turn on. And once you turn on, they have a pre-built-in Wi-Fi password you type in.
okay, but what I mean is that if it's connected to a Wi-Fi network,
Hmm?
the API is open and anybody in the network can.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, so here's a couple of different issues. So when I saw examples via Python, I don't like Python, but some people do. And I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. I just read that it has its own streams by RTSP and UDP. Why do I want to use the extra overhead and latency from looping it through as a Video for Linux device? Because OBS Studio can read those streams directly, either through VLC or if you compile it with FFmpeg. If you make sure that the FFmpeg you're using has the RTMP capability compiled in, it works directly. So you don't have to do anything weird. But being simplistic, I didn't want to do anything fancy. So we've got curl. Why do I need Python? I can turn anything on and off. I can just write a quick little bash script with a little menu, a little case statement, and say, okay, turn on this mode, turn on that mode. So here's a couple examples. I will be posting a lot of this stuff on my website. If you want to pull that stuff down as an example later on. So then here's got a couple of examples of setting up an OBS thing. So in this case, I'm using I'm setting it up So there's two modes you set it up. You can set it up as a webcam, in which case, when you set up as a webcam, you cannot save to the internal SD card. Or you give a command to tell it to accept commands over USB. And yes?
Can you briefly tell us what OBS is?
OBS is used to be called Open Broadcaster Software. Now it's just OBS Studio. So it's a open source software package that a lot of streamers use these days for streaming games, streaming whatever else, streaming things on the Twitch and other websites, that allows you to take multiple video streams and multiple audio sources, mix them, and then shove them out on the internet. It's actually quite a fun little package if you haven't played with it. And every distro, it's cross-platform, Windows, Mac, Linux. If you're running Ubuntu, they got it in their repository. Everybody's got it in their repository. So right now I'm in webcam mode, which means the camera will not save to the SD card. But if you turn on the USB control through the API, now you can actually set up a stream, a UDP stream, and you can also then tell it, while you're at it, save a copy to the drive. So that's how I did the last two talks when I did it. So that way it was nice.
It's saving onto the GoPro itself.
Yeah, the GoPro itself.
US.
So that way I can get a 1080p stream over to Twitch, because that's their maximum resolution, and I can save a 4K stream onto the card, which I then pull off and edit to post on Linux, YouTube. So. And here is, well, right now it's a little bit different. I've been using this Yeti microphone. They're really nice mics for having audios. Sometimes I forget, and we use this other little doodad here from Russell.
Yeah.
But right now we're trying out these Rode lapel wireless microphones, and that's what we're recording right now with. And so they look like it's that might be a nice thing, because this is heavy. I mean, this is not something you want to drag around all the time. So OBS Studio is nice because it's like a view outside my office window. You can set up different scenes for different things you want to stream. You can stream, record, or stream and record. So if you have a beefy enough computer, you can actually do quite a bit. Now on the Mac, if I try to stream and record at the same time, it gets a little, it's an older Mac, so it gets a little worn out. But the nice thing about why I like this particular one is that with the Iris 650 GPU from Intel, it's capable of the VA API hardware acceleration for H.264 encoding. So here's that setup that I usually use. Twitch allows me to go up to, that's a little hard to read, but I usually stick with 3,000 kilobits per second, just because the Wi-Fi down here is a little weak. But the videos turn out pretty good from what I've spot checked. So you set up how you want to set it, how you want to do the audio, and then you go. So there's the website, and so if I'm doing the hardware acceleration and I'm not recording to the hard drive of the Mac, usually I'll settle down to less than 20% CPU utilization, and this thing doesn't overheat, and that doesn't overheat, and everybody's happy. And then here is, so then once I get everything in, it's streamed, I then take the 4K, pop it into Kdenlive, which is a nice open source nonlinear video editor based on MLT. Some people like OpenShot. This one I do because it was added to the standard Slackware distribution as a default app, and it's actually quite nice. And so I've been playing around with things like adding like a little intro music. I don't know if you watched the last one I did from at the SSH. I added a little intro music, did a couple of transitions to make it to try to work out that little I am the videographer, so I should.
You have like bounce across the screen.
Yeah, bounce across the screen. So, and then of course I popped this up on my Linux Galaxy on things. So you have a 4K version, and the nice thing about YouTube, I'm not a big Google fan. They've become this corporate monstrosity. But it is nice when you pop up a 4K, they will automatically transcode all the way down to 480, and so people can see it on whatever device they're using, and I don't have to do that work. So at that point, that's pretty much it. This is any questions? This is me 30 odd years ago when I was a chemist in a laboratory in North Miami. When I had hair. So.
Sorry, did you say North Miami?
Yeah.
Is that Ohio or Florida?
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's another little pharmaceutical company. This computer right here. Here's a monitor. It was up there. Was a Digital Equipment Corporation, which no longer exists, and that data acquisition station was running DOS with Windows 3.1. Because I know when this picture was taken, Windows 95 wasn't out yet. So that would have been late spring, early summer 95.
Was there any Linux in the building?
Not with this company.
Yeah.
Well, they no longer exist, so.
It might have been before it started taking off. Right?
Yeah, it was still early. So yeah, no, they didn't. I think we had some equipment that was running. We had some thermogravity analyzers that were running Solaris workstations. So,
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I know it's a pretty short talk, but I mean, but how much is there to say? Thanks.
Questions? Have you considered like putting a heat sink on your camera?
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I
Ice
have
pack, an ice pack.
an ice pack or heat sink. I actually have a whole stack of because I collect technology in case I need it for anything.
Yes.
I have an entire stack of these thermoelectric chips.
Cooler things.
Cooler
Yeah,
chips,
Yeah.
That I've taken out of equipment that was busted, and I tested it. Oh, this one is bad. Throw that
Yeah.
away. So all I need is a heat sink, which I do also have laying around, and then one of those and a 5-volt supply. I'm golden.
Is there a surface? Can I touch this?
Yeah. There's it's mostly
Oh, yeah,
mostly
it's a little warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now it gets a little warm, but it's fine as long as you don't turn all the stuff on.
Yeah.
So. And that's one of the things with if you recall the GoPro commercials, and they're not going to let me say in this, but
Yeah.
if you look at all the commercials, they're either on a mountain bike whipping through the wind,
Yes.
they're in the snow,
Yeah.
or they're in the water.
No desert
Yeah,
shots.
and if no desert shots, and if they're showing you a shot thrown through like somewhere in Tuscany or somewhere,
Yeah.
right, or Sicily, right, and they're walking along,
Yeah.
they're like short clips, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
You said that the bottom is what gets?
yeah, the battery gets hot.
The battery gets
Yeah,
hot.
it's like I think the battery, and then it shuts down and it says it can't charge, and it shuts down.
Can you use like some kind of external battery instead?
You can use an external battery, or you can charge it off a USB port that has enough juice, enough
Okay.
current. So you have this guy right here, this Mac, doesn't have enough current to push.
But if you had like a pass-through,
A pass-through, yeah.
yeah, that would work.
That would work, so.
How about Audacity? I didn't get what you use Audacity for or
Oh, I forgot, yeah, when I was using the audio from the GoPro, which is not very good, they have attachments to get you better microphones. I would bring the audio into Audacity to kind of get rid of the background noise, up the levels, so that when people ask questions, especially some of the speakers we had they talk very quietly and they're shy.
Right.
But that's not me. I'm not shy. So this thing can be halfway across the room. It can be in the next. It can be in the next city, and people can hear me. No one's ever accused me of being quiet. so I upped that a little. But now with the Yeti, I went to the Yeti, and with this thing, we'll see how this works out.
Yeah.
It sounded pretty good when I just did a quick check. Then that's not going to be a problem anymore. So we'll be able to get good audio. So I won't have to.
Although the room audio might not be as good.
Yeah.
So all of our pertinent or
Questions, yeah.
questions.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing about the Yeti.
Yes.
I might still plug that in to have a second stream,
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
I can then point that one to the audience. And that way, when you ask questions, we can hear what those questions are.
Right.
So in the meantime, be like me, speak up, don't be shy.
Do you know how much amperage the 5-volt on the camera takes?
I think the spec says they want they want a 2 amp feed on the 5 volts.
So it provides it,
Yeah, there you go.
you're gonna use it in
Yeah.
the future.
So,
I've got a little USB-C power metery thing that we, maybe next time we
Yeah.
can plug it in.
Play around with it, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of spaced out the part where you, were talking about how it can only be in webcam mode or.
Yes.
Or what, streaming?
yeah, so
mode,
so all of the functions you can access on the back, right? You can access through their API. But there's 2 ways to do it. So they have a simple mode. So when you have on your phone, when they talk to it, and you just want to use it as a webcam, that's one command, and that's all it'll do. It shuts off everything else. I mean, you can still do the resolution. You can still set. Well, you don't. You get 1080. You get only 1080p. I think it'll use whatever default image stabilization, but it doesn't do anything fancy.
And it won't record.
It won't record.
locally?
No, it won't record. It won't record on SD card. That's just how they designed the thing. So I did that at first. I said, well, there's got to be a better way. People were saying, well, we use this. We can do 4K. We can do this. We can do that. I'm not streaming in 4K because Twitch doesn't take 4K. They're limited at 1080. But then I read further down this long website of API instructions, trying to figure out what everything is, and realize, oh, if I tell it, okay, first turn on USB control mode, then I can activate a stream at any resolution I want, and stream that over UDP, and then at the same time activate the saving to this at any resolution I want. It runs a little bit warmer, but it still works.
You went to the list of curl commands so we can see what you actually sent to it?
Yeah, that was a little earlier.
Yeah, you had a few, with a whole collection up there.
Oops.
That's, there they are.
Oh, yeah.
So I got the, so the ones I did here. So basically, so the first one, right? So these are the core ones if you want to do anything. So first one, you got to turn it on. You got to make sure that it'll take USB commands. Then, very important, because they know it overheats, this thing will fall asleep. So I said, oh, this is nifty. So as I'm playing with this at home, I said, this thing keeps shutting down while I'm trying to figure out what's going on. It keeps keeps going to sleep. And you got to kick it, wake it back up. And you can't wake it back up. You can't wake it back up on the USB line. You have to wake it back up either by touching the button or hitting it with a Bluetooth query. So I had Bluetooth running for a while on the laptop, and I just connect to it and said, "Oh, I'm alive."
Yeah.
You know? So then you can do then you start your UDP stream to start command, and there's a bunch of commands I don't have here, which you can set things up, or you can just set them up on the back panel. You know how you want that, how you want to do, and then it'll stream that out. And then if you want to do it's a shutter command, you tell it to start stop. But there is a couple things that, sometimes it seems to want to be stuck at 1080. There's another command I got to give to get the UDP stream where I want, or maybe the UDP stream is limited to 1080, and if I do the RTSP stream, I can get the 4K. I haven't figured out all the bells and whistles yet.
You were saying, I missed part of this, but the IP address, that's a USB networking thing. Over
Yes.
the USB.
Yeah. So-
And the last 3 digits, or the numbers in the IP address are derived from the MAC address?
Well, they're not the last 3, they're like interleaved a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So if you go back, where did I put
I
that?
think it was earlier, yeah.
Yeah, so here,
Back a few more.
Yeah.
There it
so
is.
here, so here, so this XYZ is the last 3 digits of the serial number, XYZ. They pop it on this
Oh, I
iPad,
see.
and then
I gotcha,
here, and then
gotcha.
this is what you access.
Always
but-
51.
But it's 51 that you access.
Yeah.
So your curl commands you send to 51.
Yeah,
But the interface doesn't say 51.
nice.
It says 54.
So they like not hear about API-PA?
I don't know. It's just bizarre. It took me forever to figure out I can ping it, but why can't I talk to it?
Yeah.
Maybe
You know?
it's a security feature or
Good.
something.
Who
Yeah.
It's
knows?
like you don't want to respond to pings, so,
Yeah.
but if somebody's pinging the network and they find something
And
there.
it's on a private
Then they'll-
network.
It's on the private network.
Oh, okay.
The Wi-Fi version, they give you, here's the IP address, here's the port, and there's just one.
Oh,
And everybody can talk to it.
Oh, so they different.
It's different.
IP
Oh, yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
only on USB.
Yeah, so this IP, 172 network is for the USB. If you connect via
So
Wi-Fi,
is just one
it's,
IP.
it's just one IP and it's a 10 dot something. If you look at their thing, so, I don't know why.
So at least you can plug in as many of these cameras.
Yeah,
as
so you play them
want,
and then
they'll
have a
show
bunch
up.
of them different, and they all show up, yeah. that-
If
I
you
mean,
buy them all at the
yeah.
same time,
Yeah.
the X, Y, and Z will all be unique.
Yeah, they'd be all unique, yeah, so.
So recording to the internal SD card, is that just a personal preference of yours to record to there, or is there a hardware limitation that's preventing you from streaming and recording with OBS
Yeah, well,
directly?
it's, when you're in, so far the streams I'm able to pull out, max out at 1080p.
Oh, gotcha.
So if I want 4K, I gotta save it.
Perfect, gotcha.
There is a way to get the cinematic higher streaming out, but the webcam mode, like I said, is limited to 1080p. Why, I think is artificial limitation, and I haven't gone through, I haven't sifted through all the commands yet to figure out if I can get either UDP or RTMP or RTSP stream at a higher than 1080p. It was just easy enough, because I have a day job, and I start early. I start at 6:30 a.m. So by the time 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm ready to go to bed. So it was just easy to just go ahead and save it and then pop it over. And the API gives you full control over the SD card too. You can once you're connected by the network, you can give it a command which will tell you what's on the SD card, what the file names are, a listing. It comes all over as JSON structures. You can parse that, find out what your name is, and then tell it I want to copy this file over and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's got some interesting features and how they have it set up, but it just seems a lot of, from my way of dealing with the laboratory networking instrumentation, it just seems a little convoluted way to do it. So.
You could put a GPIB interface on it, maybe.
Yeah. that interface, that hair stands up on the back of my neck from the laboratory
We
equipment.
might
we
even
use.
get 240i.
Oh.
No audio.
Yeah.
How long does the battery last?
The battery lasts about the battery can last about 4 hours or so, depending on what you have running, what you have on.
Right.
Like if you go full blast, 120 FPS, 5.3 K, and image stabilization, all the toys. The battery will last, but the thing will shut down in
Yeah,
30, 40 minutes. So.
I wonder how they're gonna fix that, or if they're gonna fix it.
I don't know.
They like the form factor,
they
because
like
it
it, yeah.
fits in a bunch of things.
Yeah,
They
there
like the
are other competitors from other companies that
Yeah.
produce these little tiny action cameras.
Yeah, yeah.
Mostly out of Taiwan or China or someplace in
Right.
Japan. And I've not heard, looking at those devices, I've not heard anyone saying, well, they overheat. This one, yeah, it overheats. You got to be careful. If they're great, they're
But
perfect.
they,
they're blah, blah, blah.
they probably don't have an open API.
Yeah, they probably don't have it open yet.
It's-
Yeah.
it's
So.
like whatever you have, that's it.
I bet you the battery, it's probably either the battery chemistry or the charging mechanism that's the
Yeah.
culprit.
You can look at those other brands, see if their battery lasts as long.
Yeah, to see if they're
Yeah.
But all I know is that, I mean, we can complain about Apple all we want, but man, when I had this hooked up to OBS in their webcam mode, this thing sat there for 2 hours, didn't even get warm. And it wasn't even plugged in.
Well, if you had plugged it in, it might overheat it.
It might have overheated, so, yeah.
You have a bigger surface area ratio.
Yeah, it's got, well, it's got a little case on it, so that's insulating.
I'm curious if you have thought of what would be the alternative, like if you try to replicate the same with, I don't know, a Raspberry Pi, for example, would that be possible in the sense of having a camera connected to a Raspberry Pi that transmits
Oops,
via
I
UDP or?
knocked this out down. We gotta do something about these cords.
Yeah, exactly.
I did think about doing that, maybe a Pi Zero or something, because they have,
Something,
because
yeah.
they have, it's nice low power, they have a nice little 1080p camera thingy that you can plug in, that module everything else, and people do that for that, and I think about Arduinos and building something, but like I say, ooh, $150, let me play with this.
And what's the retail price on it?
About $400 to $450.
Yeah.
So they're not cheap.
Yeah.
You know. And for that kind of price, I think, why is it overheating? That's,
Yeah.
when I can get a Minolta, when I can get a 4K UHD Minolta camcorder,
Yeah.
which, was for $200. That is, and I looked at those I played with those at Best Buy as well, and said, well, this will do it, and it'll sit there for 4 hours, streaming, and it's USB control, just plug it in and poof, and there's no limitation to what resolution or anything else. It'll do whatever the sensor pushes out what you set for. So I don't know. It's just they have some design considerations for here. That's kind of weird, but it is what it is. It was a fun thing to play with.
Yeah.
Look at the API. Look at try to figure out, puzzle it out, and try to figure out what the heck's wrong with this. Running Linux on this. It was working great. 3-4 streams on here. Didn't have any problems. And then suddenly,
bring your USB radio.
yeah, it's like, and then I updated.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
ooh, new kernel. Let's try that one.
Yeah.
So
At what, 4 o'clock this afternoon?
yeah, usually.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yeah. I've done that just for grins. Right before I go to sleep at 3:30 in the morning, I will do an update and break something,
Yeah.
and then have to stay up until 5:30 or whatever fixing it.
Yeah, that's why when I play with these two laptops, they're the one that runs the development version of Slackware.
Yeah.
It's what they call current. It's like a rolling release. It's pretty stable, but every once in a while something weird happens.
Yeah.
And but on my other machines where I don't want to have uptime, like my game server and my regular gaming box and my daily driver, that one it's still on 15.0, which is now, how is it? It's 4 years since the last.
2022?
2022,
Yeah, it was February
Yeah.
2nd,
Yeah. So
2022.
everybody says, oh yeah, but it still gets updates. It's like Slackware. Every stable release is an LTS. There's no extra. He'll keep that until he gets to the next. Until he releases the next one, and it's okay. Now I'm going to deprecate the other one. So usually you get 4 or 5 years easy of updates before you got to worry about upgrading. So.
What codec does it use to store the local?
Oh, the local stuff, it does by default. It does the H.265.
Oh, okay.
And for Twitch doesn't accept that, so I have to, transcode to H.264.
Is the 4K really worth it for stuff like this? Or, can you read the text better than
It's
1080p? Or
for when I'm editing, the 4K thing, it's a little crisper because basically we have the lights on. If we turn the lights off, and I get a different camera that has better low light capability, but I am gonna grab their beta firmware that has some tweaks to the low light enhancements, and I'm gonna play with that to see if I can get that to be a little better for like a room. It's an outdoor action camera for bright sunlight, but people do want to do like sunset shots and evening shots around town, and so they've been working on trying to figure out a way to do some some processing on the CPU to enhance the light. I mean, the sensor is not any smaller than what this guy has, right? And this guy, his low light is fine,
I was just thinking, well, maybe you could get by with like 1080p and maybe use more efficient codec, like 264 something. Then it wouldn't need as much CPU power.
If I had the USB bandwidth, I can just pull raw off as well. So,
But then,
but
maybe
that's a lot of data.
Maybe it would help keep it heating.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, what you say is the problem is that when you're the stream that you're pulling off maxes out at 1080p.
So
you're saving a 4K, and you're not really processing.
Yeah, not pro. Yeah. So right now the only way I can get 4K or anything higher than 1080 is to save it on the internal memory. The SD card, because I haven't figured out what the commands are to tell this thing to stream anything higher. It may be limited because they limit it artificially because of the USB bandwidth. So
USB-C ought to be able to do it. Lots
it
of
will do it,
bits.
yeah, so, yeah, I mean, so on this model MacBook, it has 4 USB-C Thunderbolt 3
Yeah.
ports. I think it's, the ones on the right are 10 gigabits, and the ones on the left, I think are 40.
Wow.
So it's like, so you put the high bandwidth stuff there and the low bandwidth stuff on the other side. So.
10 gigabits, not that low.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not actually sending, maybe it's connecting with USB.
Yeah, I haven't looked at all the specs, what it does right there for that port,
Yeah.
and they,
Maybe it was cheaper to
Yeah.
go like building USB 2 only, thinking that,
Yeah.
and maybe it doesn't actually do USB 3 speeds.
Yeah.
Maybe not, yeah.
and when you look at USB-C, it's like a smorgasbord of specifications.
Yes.
You know, in terms of, just because it has that connector doesn't mean.
When you plug it in, you can watch the message and see
Yeah.
what it negotiates.
Yeah.
It'll tell you which
And,
one it chooses.
and then of course it depends on the module. This little gadget right here was connecting as a USB 3 device on the USB 3 Thunderbolt hub, but then it stopped. USB 2, don't know why. If I plug a USB, if I plug in a USB 3 thumb drive, nothing.
Interesting.
But I have another one
Yeah.
that I got for that costs half as much as this, and it plugs in as USB 3,
Yeah.
and I can plug a USB 3, and it pops up. It's like, I don't understand, no idea. It's
Some
hardware.
of those docks need that external power
Yeah.
in order to do that.
Oh, I tried it. This
But
one,
That's the.
this one's, I got this one specifically because it said in the specifications,
Yeah.
USB-C PD 100 watt charging, 4K UHD output. And it was working,
It doesn't
But
have
then
an
it's
external
stuff like.
connector, does
But
it?
then I
It
update- but then I
might be
updated
the
something and it
wires,
worked.
some wires in the cable broke
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, something,
you
yeah.
know.
Because this USB is the one for the power, and for some reason it stopped. But if I plug this in on my Slackware 15, the older box, it's
Holy
fine.
crap. Oh, that is not a wire then.
No, not a wire, no.
Something's not
It's, it has something to do with one too many updates on Slackware
Ah.
Current. So,
I think you said you went to the 616 kernel.
yeah, so everything was fine on 6.15.8. I mean, it was like beautiful. I got everything working. I got I got the audio patch to get the audio working. I got the what you call it, the little weird
Yeah.
display
Couple things
working,
here.
the touch screen, the touch
Touch
bar
bar,
working, and everything was working. Everything's great. So, ooh, 616 has a few
Yeah.
extra bells and whistles.
Have you complained? Because that's clearly a regression.
Yeah.
Did you do a bug report?
No, I don't do bug reports. I just roll back and wait for everybody to
Yeah,
catch
yeah.
up.
It's hard to isolate what the problem is. too.
It's tough to isolate, but especially since, I bought this on the used market. I had to fix it, I had to put a new battery in,
Yeah.
and so, you don't
Was
know.
that fun? Prying the case open and.
Actually, on this one, it's not bad, because there's 4 screws, or 5 screws, and
Yeah.
it pops right off.
Oh, nice.
Just need
On the
that-
back, and
use
it's
the
right there.
Penta something.
Pentalobe thing?
It's a pentalobe thing,
Yeah.
but you gotta be careful, because they glue it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just need the pick, you just need like a guitar pick.
Yeah,
and
you
sit it
can pry it up, but I went ahead and sprung for when I bought the new battery, I bought it from iFixit,
Yeah.
and I went ahead and just get their repair kit.
Yeah.
Because it was like $120 for the battery, and $125 or $28 for the whole kit with the tools, and the little, and being a chemist, it's, ooh, they have a little goop
Yeah.
liquid to dissolve the glue. I said, ooh, I wonder what they're using.
Yeah. How do you tell?
It's acetone and isopropanol.
Yeah.
So it's pretty typical to get rid of that kind of glue.
So is there a difference between, this is a chemistry question, isopropyl and isopropyl alcohol, aren't they
Same
the
thing.
same thing? Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, the common name would be isopropyl,
Yeah.
isopropyl alcohol, and the official IUPAC name,
Yeah.
or actually a hybrid IUPAC name, is actually 2-propanol.
Yeah.
Is the
How do you
IUPAC.
tell that was it all labeled?
Yes, it was labeled.
Okay, yeah.
And they had the CAS numbers, so you look those up
Nice.
because they had a link to go to the material safety data sheets.
Yeah. Nice.
Which I did look up, because I
That
could,
seems
yeah.
more elaborate than I would expect
Yeah.
for a consumer product.
I
Yeah.
think those are required.
Yeah, when you do you gotta do that for safety, especially when you ship to California and other places.
Magic liquid or something.
Yeah, magic liquid, and they said, make sure you put here, don't get it on anything else,
Yeah.
And,
I'm
'cause-
curious, if you install Slack, that machine is running Slackware, right?
yeah, well, yeah, it
What
would,
normally?
it would normally, right now I'm in Mac OS because I couldn't get the Wi-Fi to work.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I have an old MacBook, 2014, and I installed Debian, because I like Debian in
Yeah.
general.
Boo.
And it was like, not again, like, it feels like going back to 1999, trying to figure out which module I need to load into the kernel. Shit, let's do this thing. So I'm curious, like Slackware work like the Wi-Fi automatically?
yeah,
Oh my
it-
god,
it did.
I'm totally installing Slack.
It did when I first installed Slackware on here. I got the little bootable thumb drive, popped it in there. You hold the option key down to get the bootloader up.
Yeah.
You pick the thumb drive, you let it boot, it booted up, got it all installed. You have to be careful on MacBooks because by default, Slackware will either use Lilo or eLilo as the bootloader, both of which.
Oh.
But if you use eLilo for the
Yeah.
EFI on any Mac device, you'll brick it.
Oh.
So you have
That's
to.
a
So
Slackware specific problem.
yeah.
So
No,
the
that's
eLilo
eLilo. That's eLilo specific.
Well, yeah,
But
but no
who
one else
uses
uses
illegal?
that.
But no one else uses that
Yeah.
because of Slackware. Slackware is a core distro.
Yeah.
But Slackware does
No, we are
come.
using Grub now, it's getting
But
phased out in curve.
it's getting phased out because of some issues with some of the laptops. So now this thing boots with Grub too, but there's a couple little things you got to do that. But when it came up initially, at first, the screen worked and the Wi-Fi worked. The keyboard did not work. The trackpad didn't work.
Yeah.
That's when I had to update, the first update to the new kernel. Well, it turns out it wasn't the kernel's fault. It was the configuration. There's a configuration in kernel where he had forgot to set a parameter that had it built the module for, so when you compiled it,
Yeah.
that was missing. So once I flip that switch, config switch in the kernel config and recompile the kernel, then it worked just fine. Yeah, it was. Yeah, except Wi-Fi. So then the thing came up, and then there's a on GitHub there's a packet, there's a for the touch bar driver, and then there's another on GitHub also. There's a for this specific sound chip, the module is in Linux, but no Linux can use it because of the customizations Apple did. So someone actually built a whole, I don't know, 6 or 8 patches to patch different modules to get it to work. And then once you do that, you do it out of tree, compile, and then fine. Right. And then everything was working. Everything was fine. And then I should have just left it alone, but no.
I mean, yeah.
Debian 12 has been shipping
No.
Wi-Fi modules, so,
Yeah,
yeah. Around
that-
13 now, so.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, again, I just installed the modules like a caveman, but the idea is that we're in 2025, we should
Yeah.
be. having-
Well, that's the cool thing about Mac hardware, is that it takes you back 20 years.
well, especially this one. This is the Broadcom BCM 43602.
Yeah.
Broadcom is always troublesome, but some of the older Macs you can use the B43 driver
Yeah.
module and then just grab the firmware cutter and pull the firmware out of their driver thing, and it's fine. Had this been a 2016, I wouldn't have had a problem with Wi-Fi.
Oh.
2017 one uses the
A newer
the
Wi-Fi chip.
the newer chip. So it's the difference between using the older one, which is the 802.11 N,
Yeah.
versus this one is actually the 802.11 AC, right? SoC chip, and so I said, oh, this is great. I have the AC router, so this will be great. And it was working fine, but then the modules, the firmware's there, the module's there, but you need a special text file to configure the firmware to be loaded onto the thing. And knowing what those parameters are tricky. And I was on the Debian list. I was on the Arch list. I was on a bunch of different lists, and oh, you gotta do this, you make this setting this, and this is the board rev number here, and you do this here. Everybody has a different thing, because they had all like slightly different revisions of that chip. So it was
It's
like,
interesting, right, because your current state is that it sees the network.
yeah, it sees the network
It
just
can't
fine.
connect. Even the unencrypted public network,
Yeah.
it can't connect.
It can't connect.
But it sees it.
And it was fine on my 5 gigahertz at home, AC, fine, and then suddenly that stopped working. We think it's because it wants to flip on the WPA3 automatically, because the firmware that this doesn't work with that encryption. You have to be WA2. So I said, oh, okay, I'll live. I do 2 of them because I got like a Roomba and some older stuff. So I have the 2.4 gigahertz network still running, and let's try that one. Maybe that one. Oh, that one works. It's like, yep, yahoo. So, but then I come here. NMCLI scan the thing. Oh, there they are. WPA2. Oh, this should be fine. Nothing. Nobody home. So who knows?
If you rebooted back into Linux, it might.
Yeah. Well, sometimes if you shut it all the way down and have it come back up, it resets something on the motherboard.
I was just thinking that
But-
maybe your MAC address might have been granted access to the Wi-Fi, and then it would be able to.
Now I tried that. Didn't work.
It's not even getting on the network, it sits there, spins for a bit.
It just, yeah,
So,
it just get, it kind of, it sees it, but when it tries to connect and get it, and get a DHCP, it just, nothing.
Is the Wi-Fi chip soldered onto the motherboard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
What about a USB Wi-Fi dongle?
Oh, that works fine. I got an
Okay.
old Netgear.
Yeah.
I have this Netgear dongle.
Yeah.
It's an Atheros, it's a Qualcomm Atheros chipset. It works just fine.
Okay.
No
So
problem.
it's just, that.
I even have an antique 802.11 from TP-Link,
Mhm.
802.11n. Plugged it in, it worked.
I don't know why folks, I mean, like, my wife has a OS X machine, but I just can't ever see myself, like, I mean, like, maybe if it's like $20 or something, I don't know, maybe, but like,
They do work.
yeah.
I mean,
just-
I have a MacBook M1 here with
Yeah.
running Linux. It works.
Yeah.
I don't like them because they're not.
Yeah, I just
open.
feel like there's,
Yeah.
you have to run through.
Yeah, but I picked this up on, like I say, offer up for $200. It had a 1 gig, a NVMe 1 terabyte. It
Yeah.
had the extra 16 gigs of RAM, so that a memory upgrade. Normally they ship with the i5 dual core. This is the i7 dual core for 3.4 gigahertz. I said, oh, $300,
Yeah.
no problem.
Last of the Intel Macs.
And it's one of the last ones. And now, but you don't want to do is get the last Intels, which is the 2018 and newer Intels, because they have a really hard time running Linux. And then with the M1, they redo things, and then
Well, it's all ARM.
and it's all ARM, so it's a little easier. And stay away from the touch bar, 'cause that's a pain in the neck. And the audio, because you never know if you're going to get audio. Without doing it, it took a while to compile everything to get the audio back up. So I'm not, and of course now, if I have to upgrade the kernel, I got to redo all those patches. So no.
You should bring it to the clinic.
Yeah.
Hey, here, the Wi-Fi don't work. Figure it out. Anybody know Slackware? It runs
At
network.
this point,
It
it's
runs.
not the kernel that's the problem, because we're just running the straight unpatched kernel,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So
Yeah,
it's
so
like-
and that's so for those of you who don't know, that's the nice thing about Slackware. It is the developers do not do any patches to the upstream code. It's as is. He makes it boot, he makes it run, it's everything there. It's a monolithic distribution. He doesn't run a repository. It's whatever you get on that thumb drive. That's 8 gigs of packages. You got a lot of stuff on there.
So, can't you just boot back to the older kernel? You still have
Yes.
the old kernel?
Yeah, I still have it on there, so I didn't do it yet, but,
Yeah.
well, actually, I did do the older kernel. I'm on the 612, .44. That got me 95% of the way there, but then something happened, I don't know.
Yeah.
The reason I went to the 615, because it fixed this whole Wi-Fi
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Well, the problem because you're on current, so the kernel firmware package is also
Yes,
progressing
yes,
regardless of the
yeah,
kernel. So it could
yeah,
be
the kernel
in
firmware packages are
file.
changing, so I don't know what they're doing, so, then, I'll figure it out. It's a hobby. I mean, it's faster and nicer than this thing I couldn't hook up. I'm using Ben's right here, right now. His ThinkPad, which is a much newer. The one I'm using is a really,
What is it? What vintage is that?
We're about to see.
this
Oh, God.
Oh my goodness.
is really heavy. This is a ThinkPad,
Yeah.
right?
You gotta think that.
Lenovo.
Is it IBM or Lenovo?
It's a Lenovo.
Okay.
It's your classic, heavy, you know.
What model is it?
This is the T510.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so it comes with all kinds of stuff. For some reason,
Oh,
the
the CD
CD,
drive.
and the CD drive randomly pops out by itself for no reason.
Oh my
Yay.
God.
It has a gigabit Ethernet port.
Ah, yeah.
It has a yellow
Oh, right.
USB port. I
Oh,
don't know
wait
why
a
it's
minute,
so, I
it's
forget
not-
why.
It's not the round one. It's
Not the
the-
round.
Oh, it's the flat one. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
flat.
I got one of those.
So then it has a telephone modem.
No.
It has no HDMI, but it has DisplayPort and a VGA, which I know why it doesn't work, because you got to tweak the X.org
configure,
configuration.
yeah.
If you don't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It can't see it. And then it has a bunch of USB 1 and 2s. It has this weird USB thing, which is a special one, and then it has the 1394
Oh,
power
right.
wire, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And a physical switch to turn
Nice.
off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Nice. But no PCMCIA slot.
It has it has whatever this
Oh.
thing was,
Oh, wow.
and then it has the regular SD card.
Yeah, nice. Oh, okay.
So-
Express card 34.
And this particular model did come with the PCI Express, but that's
Ah,
not there.
okay.
And it also had the option for the fingerprint reader,
Oh, right,
but that never
yeah.
worked, so they stopped using
Yeah.
it.
Do you use the little jog button?
Yes, and it has a little IBM button.
Yeah.
That actually does.
Do you
works
use
too.
that?
Yes, I do use
Okay,
sometimes, because
yeah.
sometimes this thing,
Flags that are, yeah.
as I like to say, this thing sucks donkey balls.
Yeah,
I gotta trademark that phrase, well, because this is terrible,
yeah.
that trackpad, so. But yeah, it's, and it's,
What do you call the?
it's heavy.
What do you call the little pointer device in the middle?
Yeah, what-
Officially, it's called Lenovo calls it the track point.
Track point. I
Yeah,
forget
the
what
official
IBM
name
used to
is
call it.
I thought it was a track point.
Track point, yeah, yeah.
What's-
yeah.
Software refers
That's
to
what
it.
I've
Yeah,
heard.
but I'm always curious what people call it.
What's exciting,
The eraser.
what's exciting
Yeah.
is when the eraser pops off, and you're crawling around the floor trying to find it.
Yes. It is red, so
It
there's.
is red.
Some of them are not safe for work, so.
So, yeah, so anyway, that's the story.
And it can be used for home defense also.
Oh, yeah, it's so funny to pick this monstrosity up and then pick this thing, ooh, this is so light. Even Ben's is like a third the weight.
Oh, hang on, you got that plugged in? What's plugged in the back? Is that a power
This is
cable?
Yeah, power cable, yeah.
Wait a minute, so it's got two power inputs?
No, I don't know what this other one is. This yellow one is, it's a USB.
When it's asleep.
Ah, that's it.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so you keep
Does it have
it.
the docking station on the bottom?
Yes, oh, yeah, and it does have the little thing for the docking station.
Docking station.
Oh,
How
yeah.
old is this thing?
I don't know, it's,
2010?
Yeah.
The T510 you said it was?
yeah, when did the copyright on this thing here? 510, I forget when it came out. It's ancient.
Yeah.
I bought this from, what's his name? The other guy,
A Keith? No.
It's not Keith,
Michael?
Michael.
Extra,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
too new.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was getting rid of a bunch of them, so I got
Yeah.
this and another Lenovo small form factor one.
I-
Did I use some stuff?
I feel like I wanna show off my.
Show and tell, here we go.
Because this thing, I got this for like, I think $150. It was not a 1 terabyte SSD, but it was like, I don't know, 256 gigs, but it was like 16 GB, and it's like a 11th gen Core i5.
What is it?
It's a,
Dell tablet PC?
yeah, it's like a Dell tablet PC. I of course let it die.
Yeah.
I haven't charged it, God knows how long. So I wish I could turn it on to actually check what the specs are. But I'm surprised at how at least, I genuinely was surprised at how cheap it was, and I got it off of some computer shop in Gresham, and.
How
yeah,
long ago?
Like, 3 months ago, 4
Oh,
months
wow.
ago. Yeah.
And for how much, what did you pay?
150.
And it was used at the time?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Definitely used. And, I mean, I had to buy the keyboard for an extra $10, and then the case for another $10.
And how does it charge? Is USB-C?
USB-C, yeah.
Looks like you could drop it off the roof and it hit the ground and just.
Yeah, and that's what I really, but it's like, you know, I opened it up for shits and giggles,
Yeah.
and it's got like the Wi-Fi cards, you know. I don't know, I think that's a pet peeve of mine, of like everything being soldered in. And don't get me wrong, it's not just the Apples that do it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nowadays, all the students,
Yes.
Yeah.
in whatever,
Yeah.
they all do it, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I think if I'm gonna go spend real money on a laptop, I'm gonna take a look at the framework.
yeah.
Right,
totally.
because
got
you
one of
just
those.
order whatever
Totally.
module, then you
Exactly.
mix and match,
100%.
repair it.
Totally.
So I will say that when you get a framework, you're buying into the framework ecosystem.
Yeah,
too.
well, you
Yeah,
buy an
just right.
Apple, you buy an Apple
Yeah.
ecosystem.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just not soldered in.
Yeah,
You can
yeah.
take the parts and.
Yeah,
fit them around.
although I did see a guy on YouTube, he posted, he upgraded his laptop, but he didn't just toss
Yeah.
the motherboard. What he did is he built a desk
Yes.
with a glass surface and just put everything in.
Yeah.
Even if they, have an ecosystem, it's still a little more open in terms of specifications that creates the
Yes.
opportunity for third-party mods.
Right.
Kinda
I
like,
don't know
kinda like
if
with
they
cars,
exist
right?
yet, but
Like that
there's
Jeep
options,
we
yeah.
saw on the way in that had the door replaced. It was
Yeah,
a completely
yeah,
different
modular, yeah.
When I got,
Sorry, go ahead.
when I bought mine, I wasn't gonna pay their inflated NVMe prices or RAM
Mhm,
prices.
yeah.
I just went out and bought my
Yeah.
own.
Yeah.
And that saved me probably
Oh, yeah,
$200.
that's why,
Yeah.
just buy a couple of USB dongles, the network thing and a couple other things, and then,
Yeah.
okay, I'll get my RAM and my
Yeah.
hard drive separately, because you get those on sale pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So that laptop, I just looked it up, is the T510, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
T for
T510?
T,
Yeah.
T for Turk.
Yeah, January 2010.
Yes. Hey, it still works.
Released.
The one thing that stopped working on this thing is the Wi-Fi. But,
You could probably swap out
but
the module.
that's not soldered in, I could
Yeah.
replace it.
Yeah.
But trying to find one on eBay
Right,
that is like,
fits
you
in a
know,
slot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's got one of those little weird, you know,
Probably
Well,
more
you know, they
PCI.
used to be mini PCI.
Yeah.
Before there was
Yeah.
mini PCI Express.
Yeah.
So in fact, from what, you know, the aughts, I have a bunch of old mini PCI cards
I
that
definitely
have zero use at all.
How's the battery life?
this one is about 15 minutes.
Oh my god.
Because I've
have
never
an
replaced the
extra
battery.
for that. Wait, I have an extra battery for that at home. Do you want it?
Hey, if you got a battery, yeah, I'll
Yeah,
bring
yeah.
it next
Okay,
time.
we'll do that. Oh, I think you have to swap out get rid of the CD-ROM for that.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's fine, it's just, it's.
What? Yeah.
I can read my CDs anymore.
Yeah, it's for burning your big CDs. Come on.
Okay, because it says.
But you
I-
can- right,
I
just
have-
pop
I
it
have an
out
external
again.
one on
You
USB,
pop the
so I'm
battery
good.
thing out and slam it,
Yeah.
slam it,
So
drive
now I
it
gotta
back
ask,
in.
is it CD, does it burn or is it just CDR?
It's gotta be a burner.
Is it a
This
burner?
one, yeah,
In 2010.
Maybe you could get.
Wait, sorry.
External
Yeah.
closure for it.
Yeah.
It had the logo on it.
This is a, multi-recorder, DVD multi-recorder.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Rock on.
But that's okay, my other two boxes they have Blu-ray burners on them, so.
Oh, that's another.
Fancy.
So here's another question. Do you ever get rid of a laptop or just keep it forever?
I usually keep it until I have to send it to the recycler to fall
I
apart.
have to.
You should
Well, who
keep
says
that
have to?
compact
Well,
laptop.
eventually it gets to the point where it's more effort than I
Yeah.
want to spend to track down parts
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
someplace, so.
And then you're ready to let it go.
Yeah, let it go, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get rid of that compact laptop where the Wi-Fi chip was like on the lid? That really old compact?
Oh, that's long gone.
Oh.
That actually went to
That was
Free
fun.
Geek. Although I still have your mother's old netbook from Ace's
that one,
netbook.
yeah.
The little tiny, remember
Yeah.
before we
Yeah.
could tell we had
Oh,
little
yeah.
tiny netbooks?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really loud because there's something wrong. I gotta find a fan for it.
Yeah.
So.
That's like eMMC. for the storage,
Yeah,
right?
it's like an Intel Atom, thing, it's got
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
in
yeah,
storage.
It has an actual SATA drive. I don't think that one's
Okay.
an eMMC.
Oh,
storage.
maybe.
It's an added processor, so
Yeah.
it's not.
Yeah, it does have,
fancy as-
oh, come on, stay closed.
Really wants to be a cup holder.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Holder, there you go.
I have an old netbook, I wanted like a drawing at work.
So,
I need to bring that to the clinic.
so do you play RimWorld? That's what that.
Turn this thing off.
You guys are reminding me of a, like, ThinkPad I had that was probably from about the mid-90s that had, you could, the CD-ROM drive was removable.
Yeah.
And you could plug in a floppy disk into the same,
Yeah.
same port.
That's actually why they're that shape.
Yeah.
Because
With the
they're not
little
just a
divot
rectangle,
thing,
they have
yeah.
a little cutout
Yeah.
that's all the
Yeah.
top.
Wow.
And I also had a PCMCIA adapter for a zip drive for that thing. Which is about the only practical way to get a lot of data on and off of it, because I don't think it had.
100 megabytes.
Like, there wasn't, it didn't have Wi-Fi either, because
We had,
maybe it didn't even have USB.
How about Ethernet?
Might have had that, but it, like, it was probably predated USB.
Yeah.
Or at least the widespread adoption of USB.
Right.
And, yeah, so it was pretty limited on getting any files on and off the thing.
Oh, one other thing, why I also will probably never get rid of this, I probably will fix the Wi-Fi one of these days, because when they designed this thing, they decided you didn't have to remove everything.
Yes. Have
So you,
little
so you got a
pans.
little panel for the hard drive and another panel over here for the memory. Now, one of the set of memory chips is behind the keyboard. You have to remove that, but but that's the default one. If you were to do the upgrade, which I did do, it's behind here.
Ooh, do you have any trouble with the keyboard? Like getting dirty and the key's not working?
It's not a butterfly.
Yeah.
Like this thing. So it doesn't have, it's a regular
Yeah.
key. So it's actually, it does get dirty, but
Yeah.
I've not had any problems with these keys. These are rugged IBM
Yeah, yeah,
design. They're the membrane keyboard, but everything, I've not had any problems with it.
Okay.
That one is a little,
Yeah.
sketchy, with the butterfly.
I'm realizing the battery on that, the main battery on that is like the 18650 cells. They're that
Right,
looks
just
like
in
a
a-
6 cell or 8
Yeah.
cell.
You just pulled it out like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly.
Ooh.
You can't do that anymore.
This is a lot. This would have been a lot easier if Baffle did that. It's like, so when I went to I fixed it. Oh, let me take a look. I've never had one of these open. Let me see how it does. It says, so you say 1 to 3 hours. They give you like an estimated time. So
Did you have to,
That's 1 to 3 seconds right there.
it's like
did you have to use a heat gun or something to soften the glue?
yeah, on that one.
Yeah.
On that one, there's a couple of different things. You got to soften
Yeah.
glue to get the because the on this thing the trackpad connector comes up around the battery up to the
Oh,
main
wow.
board. So you got to first disconnect that, hit it with some heat to get it unglued from the battery,
Oh my
and then route it out and take it out first so it's out of the way.
Yeah,
So
fun times.
Do you have to re-glue it back together before it's?
well, the new battery came with little
Yeah.
tapes on it that so I just
Yes.
pushed it down and done. But I didn't re-glue anything else. I just screw it. Where's it gonna go?
Yeah.
So it's thin.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of room for it to bounce. So
Awesome. Any more questions about the streaming business?
yeah, I'll have a full write-up one of these days up on my website,
Yeah.
and there'll be a copy if you want to take a look at some of the various commands from the Bash script. I like Bash because it's easy to read. Not doesn't hide anything, and I don't have to learn anything new.
Absolutely.
I can play with the hardware. I don't have to worry about another software syntax.
Okay. Good job. Was there, we don't know if anybody was in the stream.
I checked periodically with
Okay.
things with one person, eventually. I don't know if that was me or what.
Were they heckling?
No, at the start, someone hopped in and, Beware of
two
Zoo
accounts,
fly.
yeah, and said something, what you teach in UNC, UNC for short for uncle.
Yeah.
And then someone else said, don't mind him, he's weird, but they had like the same name. So someone was like trying to like, I don't know who that person was, but you could see the first alias in the second alias.
Yeah.
So it was like someone hopped in with two accounts and just tried to be funny and then left.
Yeah.
So, they weren't that bad. But I saw the internet window and I'm like, oh, do we have to deal with this? Because this is a publicly available channel.
Well, hopefully, so one of the reasons I put it up on YouTube is because I'm not a influencer or whatever you call it. So I don't have enough people watching my Twitch stream for it to stay up forever.
Oh,
So
right.
it stays up for 7 days and they delete it.
Oh,
When I get enough subs or whatever they call it, I don't know.
On Twitch, they'll.
On Twitch, then it'll stay longer.
how many people you need?
I don't know.
No, I don't know, I don't have Twitch, I'm not.
I don't know,
Prime
6,
right?
8, 10, I don't know.
I think it's 50.
Oh, but it's
push.
not like 6 people?
Yeah, well, yeah,
So-
they have to subscribe.
To
And
make
then
your videos stored permanently?
Yeah, so it's
So
the
you
number of
want to
subscriptions
plug
and
and
number of views.
Oh, okay.
Whoever has Prime, Amazon Prime, you can subscribe, I think. So,
So.
I can definitely do that.
I think the better question is you're not on PeerTube yet.
Yeah, well, that's I am looking at some other,
Yeah,
Like
platforms.
OBS.
more open,
Yeah.
liberal type aspects.
How about
Or
Pixel?
we'll just start hosting it ourselves.
We're hosting it ourselves, yeah, we
Yeah.
can,
We've got a space, we just need a subdomain for it.
So we also need to get rattle Michael by the lapel and get all his old videos.
Oh, because he recorded so many. But he
Yeah,
didn't put
I mean,
them
they
in.
were never published. Some of them
Oh,
they were
shoot,
screened
you know
and
what?
recorded.
I forgot
but-
to
Where
the,
did he put- he
Oh,
probably has
yeah,
snapshots
okay,
of
yeah,
the ones.
no worries.
well, you get that one
Yes.
And I have it
Well,
here, so-
and right, it'll be embedded in
in the video,
Yeah.
so.
awesome.
Yeah,
We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah. Give me this thing here. They're nice and portable. It's too bad they don't give you any software for it,
Yes,
you know.
yeah.
Because it's got, when I read up on it, it has like a ton of features to fiddle with the bit
Yeah,
rate and everything else,
right.
but you can't do
And
that.
how you combine the different
Yeah.
channels and so forth. Oh, I don't want that in there.
We're going to Patty's.
Yes,
That is,
unless you have a better idea.
this is
Nah,
just,
I don't.
here.
I like the French fries.
That's the heat.
Okay.
Doing nothing much.
Yeah.
Just as an FYI, most SLRs that do 4K 60 these days
Yeah.
also overheat.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the frame rate on that when you do 4K?
Oh, I can go up to 120.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, no wonder it overheats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's in terms of, if you wanna go full blast, your action,
Yeah, when you're going down the mountain. and-
Look, Bob, no hands,
Yeah, yeah,
moment.
yeah.
You can be crisp.
Yeah. No, I guess that for that case, it doesn't really matter because it's like.
Yeah, I mean,
15
you're gonna,
minutes.
you're gonna go down, you're gonna take that white knuckle downhill mountain bike. You're not gonna last long, you're gonna crash to the road.
If you slow down
And all the winds too, of course.
24, then you're gonna last.
Oh, yeah, this does everything from 24 on up, from 720 all the way up to 5.3.
No, I mean like slow motion.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Did you find it?
I could do these in slow-mo.
Oh, you don't, what, you don't sell service? What?
I have an old iPhone, but my
Why is that?
Let's see.
full bars and 5G down here, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, that shows up right there.
Although
Southwest.
the phones I'm getting, the first phone went up to 6 bars, full bars to 6 bars. My next phone,
Yeah.
next few phones were
So, I
around
mean,
5
that's
bars.
right.
This phone only
Oh, yeah,
shows
so
you 4
they-
bars. I'm not looking at bars anymore, it's just, does it work or not?
Yeah.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, that's where we've been going afterwards.
Yeah, they could be selling
Yeah,
more
food
bars,
stuff, so you can-
more bars.
I got 27 bars.
They're not looking at bars anymore, they're looking at G's.
Yeah,
That's how many G's.
Cause this one,
Oh, okay.
5G is
Jeez whiz.
10 letters.
Yeah.
It's not even UC, it's just 5G, that's kinda.
Yeah, we're on 6G now.
Thank you very much for the talk.
All right,
What's that?
hey, and hopefully, this is the first time in over 30 years I gave a public talk, so I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yes.
And hopefully it shames you people into giving some talks. Tell us your hobbies. That's why I'm
Because
here.
Ed needs something to
Everybody's got a
record.
hobby.
I can talk about my network gear.
Yeah.
I feel like I did that
You did
a
that.
bit, but I can do my InfiniBand.
Ooh,
Or
InfiniBand.
a tablet you wanted to show off, but you didn't charge.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, definitely.
You got that charged?
Yeah, I'm charging it right now.